friends, welcome back to my video lecture. The last two video lectures of geometry, the last 5 video lectures of geometry. In the last video lecture I told you about the external angle concept. Now I will tell you the classification of triangles on the basis of sides. That is, classification of triangles basis of sides. Equilateral, isosceles, these are the 3 types of triangle: equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle. Sorry, I have written the spelling of isosceles a bit wrong. What I am doing? Really sorry. Isosceles triangle and scalene triangle. Now, before explaining these 3 triangles to you, I will have to tell you one basic thing. Just focus that suppose there is a triangle this in front of us, ABC, or let it make it a bit more clear, because the thing I tried to tell you is a bit different. Suppose there is a triangle something like this. Now, in this triangle, why I made this triangle in this manner? Because by looking at this triangle, I can say that this side AB is the largest in length. This is very much clear to you. In this triangle ABC, by viewing, by physical inspection, I can say that this line AB is the biggest in length. After that, I can say that this line AC is middle in length, and this line BC, AC is middle length and this line BC is the smallest. Okay, so these are 3 points: ABC, this is largest in length, this is BC, the smallest in length, and this AC is middle in length. Okay, now what I am trying to tell you, that in this triangle, this line AB is the biggest. So due to the length of this line AB large, these 2 lines AC and BC, the angle difference between these 2 lines BC and AC will be bigger, because the larger the angle difference, the larger is the line opposite to the angle. That means you can say it in the converse proportion. If AB is bigger, then the angle opposite to AB, that is C, will be the bigger. And if the angle C is the biggest, then the line opposite to angle C, that is AB, will be the biggest. Similarly, I told you that this line AC is the middle line, that is the second largest. So what is the angle opposite to AC? It is angle B. So I can say that if line AC is the second largest line of this triangle, then I can also say that this angle B is the second largest angle of this triangle. Similarly, line BC, this is the smallest line. So if the length of BC is the smallest, I can say that the angle opposite to the line BC is also the smallest. That is, A is the smallest angle. So this A becomes the smallest angle. This C becomes the largest angle. This becomes the middle angle. This is the whole basic concept. This triangle ABC, line AB is the largest in length. So the angle opposite to this line ABC will also be the largest. Line AC is middle in length. So the angle opposite to this line AC, that is angle B, will be also middle in length. That is the second largest. And or you can also say the second smallest, and the third line BC is smallest in length. So the angle opposite to this line BC, that is the third line BC, is the angle A. And this angle A is the smallest angle because the line opposite to this angle A is the smallest angle. The converse is also true, that in this triangle, angle C is the biggest angle. So the line opposite to angle C, that is line AB, will also be the biggest line of that triangle. Similarly, angle A is the smallest angle, so by this we can say that the line opposite to angle A, that is angle BC, will be the smallest in length, and angle B is the middle angle, that is the second largest angle of the triangle. And if B is the second largest angle, that is the middle angle of the triangle, then line opposite to angle B, that is line AC, will be the second largest line of the triangle, that is the middle in length. This is the whole thing about AB and C. AB is the largest in length, so the angle opposite to AB is also largest. BC is the smallest in length, so the angle opposite to line BC, that is angle A, will also be the smallest. Now on the basis of this thing, I am going to differentiate between these three triangles. That is equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, scalene triangle. What is equilateral triangle? I am drawing a triangle. This is a triangle ABC. In this triangle ABC, this line is equals to this line is equals to this line. All the three lines are equals to each other. All the three lines are equals to each other. Just extending the fact that I told you here, that the angle opposite to the line is directly proportional to the length of the line. So here it is being said, what are equilateral triangles? Equilateral triangles are those triangles of which all the sides are equal. That is, if ABC is equilateral triangle, then the length of line AB will be equals to line BC, will be equals to line C. This is what equilateral triangle is. So, if I say that triangle ABC is equal to triangle, all the sides are equal. So obviously, if all the sides are equal to each other, then obviously the angle opposite to this side AB, that is means this angle C, the angle opposite to this side AC, that means this angle B, and the angle opposite to this side BC, that is this angle A, will be equal to each other. That means angle A will be equals to angle B, will be equals to angle C. Triangle ABC, equilateral triangle, line AB is equal to line BC is equal to line AC. So obviously, angles opposite to these respective lines will be equal to each other. So it simply says that all the angles of an equilateral triangle are equals to 60 degree. Why 60 degree? Because if the lines are equal, then the angles opposite to them are also equal. So I suppose this angle is X, this angle is X, and this angle is X. Basically the lines are equal, then angles are also equal. So I also know that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. This is X, this is X, this is X. I add all of them. So what I will get? X plus X plus X is equals to 180 degree. Solving it, I will get X is equals to 60 degree. So each and every angle will be equals to 60 degree. Each and every angle of an equilateral triangle will be equals to 60 degree. This is what equilateral triangle is. Coming on to isosceles triangle. What is isosceles triangle? Suppose this is the triangle. This triangle ABC. Now in this triangle, we can say that this side AB and this side AC is bigger than side BC. I made it a bit not very much like this. I made it a bit different. That is, in this side, by physical inspection, by viewing it, I can say that approximately this side AB and this side AC is equals to each other, and this side AB and this side AC is greater than BC. So side AB and side AC are equal to each other. So what I am saying, the side AB and side AC are equal to each other. That means the length of side AB and the length of side AC are equal to each other. So if the length of these two respective sides are equal to each other, then what is the angle opposite to this line segment AB? It is C. What is the angle opposite to this line segment AC? It is B. So if these two lines are equal, then the angle opposite to these two respective lines will also be equal. That means if this angle C is Y, then this angle B will also be Y. This is what this proving means. Okay? This line AB, this line AC, this line AB is equal to this line AC. So obviously if these two lines are equal, extending this concept, then I can say that the angle opposite to this line AB will be equal to the angle opposite to this line AC, and the opposite angles are equal, so I marked it as Y. This is also Y. This means if in a triangle it is being told to me that this line AB is equal to this line AC, and suppose it is told to me that this Y is 30 degree, then this will also become 30 degree. This is what isosceles triangle are. And simply, what is scalene triangle? Very easy. A, B, C. Here, line AB is not equals to line AC, is not equals to line BC. In this triangle, what is scalene triangle? Scalene triangles are those triangles of which no two sides are equal to each other. In this equilateral triangle, I told you that all the three sides are equal to each other. In this isosceles triangle, I told you that only two sides are equal to each other. And in this scalene triangle, I am telling you that those triangles in which the length of all the sides are unequal, that is, no two sides of the triangle are equal to each other, that is, all the three sides of the triangle are different in magnitude, in length. So that will become a scalene triangle. That means this side AB is not equal to the side AC, is not equal to side BC. So neither of the two sides of the triangle are equal to each other, then that triangle is a scalene triangle. So this is a scalene triangle. Now what does the scalene triangle say? Suppose this is angle X. This is BC and opposite to this is angle X. This is AB. This is AB is not equals to AC. So whatever the angle will be opposite to AB, it will be different from this angle X. Because the angle X is opposite to side BC, and also this line BC is not equal to this line AB. So obviously the angle which is opposite to this line AB will not be equal to the angle which is opposite to line BC. So if it is X, I suppose it as Y. Now what is the line remaining? AC. Already told you this line AC is not equal to either line BC or line AB. This line AC is not equal to either line BC or line AB. So the angle opposite to this line AC, that is angle B, it will not be equal to either X or Y. So I suppose it as Z. So angle Z not equals to angle Y, not equals to angle Z. This is what it says. All the three angles are unequal. Just jot it down. This angle X is not equals to angle Y, is not equals to angle Z. This is what scalene triangle is. In a scalene triangle, no two sides of the triangle are equal in magnitude, and no two angles of the triangle are equal in magnitude. This is scalene triangle, this is isosceles triangle, this is equilateral triangle. So this is the classification of triangles on the basis of sides. Now let's move further. I should rub it off. Let's start with some basic properties of triangles. I am drawing a triangle here in front of you. I'm telling you the general convention what is being used. This is a triangle ABC, suppose. And if this is a triangle ABC, we suppose generally that the length of this triangle side BC is small a, the length of this side AB is a small c, and the length of this side AC is a small b. This is a general convention. That this is angle A. So the length of the side opposite to angle A will be termed as small a. The length of the side opposite to angle B will be termed as b, that is small b. And the length of the side that is opposite to angle C will be termed as small c. This is a general convention. Okay, now the very first property of triangles. Very first property. Okay, now before this I told you two things about the triangles, that is that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is equals to 180 degree, but I don't consider that property as number one property because it is a very basic fact. The very first property is that the sum of two sides of a triangle is greater than the third side. Okay, so if you like, you can write it as property number one of triangles. Okay, that is that the length of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the third side. Any two sides. Length of any two sides of the triangle is greater than the third side. This is what the property says. This is very important. And one theorem which is also cited in the same way says that the difference between any two sides of a triangle is always less than the third side. Now let us see what is these two things. By using this concept, I could write it as something like this. So I write it as, I will also tell you the proof of this theorem, but first of all I am writing what is this thing. So I write it as B plus C is greater than A according to this thing. Then A plus C greater than B, and A plus B greater than C. Okay, I should write this. This is what I have written here. This is according to this theorem. Now why I am writing this in this way? This I have to understand. So in order to first understand that why I am writing this thing in this way, just understand one thing, that suppose there are two line segments A and this is B. Now if I add these two line segments A plus B, okay, if I add these two line segments A and B, now the point is that suppose this something like this, A and B, now suppose it like this. Next case, next case, next case. Okay, this was first case A, this was B. Now the second case I have bent it a little bit inward. In the next case again inward, in the next case again inward, in the next case again inward. Okay, now what I am doing here, I am drawing the figure once again. Have a look, it is a very good thing. This is one case. Second case is something like this. Third case is something like this. Fourth case is something like this. Fifth case is something like this. Now in this case, suppose this is the middle point, here this is the middle point, here this is the middle point, here this is the middle point, and this is the middle point. If this is A and this is B, what will be the combined sum? A plus B. Okay. Now, if this line is C, if this line is C, okay, and if these two are not A and B, if this is A and B, then obviously, if this A plus B has to be equals to this C, this whole length C, then this A and this B line should be in a straight line, but there is an angle between them. You should understand this thing. Okay? In these two lines, A, this line and this line, there is an angle between them. They are not straight lines. So I cannot say that the sum of these two lines is A plus B, because this is not a straight line. If this is a triangle, this is line A, this is line B, this is line C, and if I am adding these two lines, A plus B is equals to C, if I am doing this, so obviously this A plus B cannot be equals to C, because there is an angle between them. If this A plus B has to be equals to C, then this should be A and this should be B. It should not be like this, because if A plus B is equals to C, then A and B have to be in a straight line. But A and B are not in a straight line. So always A plus B will be greater than C. It is a very simple fact. So the point is that this is a very basic thing. What will be the exact relation between these two things, I will tell you in my upcoming videos. But at this point of time, you should understand that in order for C to be equals to A plus B, these A and B lines should be in a sequence. Then only they will be equal to C. In no other case, the sum of A plus B is equals to C. It should be greater than C only, because there is an angular distance. If this A plus B is equals to C, then obviously this angle will becomes to 180 degree. See, this is angle. The angle is subsequently going on increasing, and here it becomes 180 degree. This is my point. Here it is something increases. It becomes 180 degree. Think about that concept for a minute. Think about it for a minute. You will understand it. Then I will explain it to you. Just look at this thing and think. Getting any point? Very simple. This line segment A, this line segment B, this is some angle. As I move this line segment inwards, the central angle is increasing, and when this angle becomes 180 degree, the sum of these lines will be equal to this straight line C. But here in this case, the sum of these two lines A plus B has to be greater than C. That is why this theorem goes on, that B plus C is greater than A plus B is greater than C, A plus C is greater than B. Because if C plus B has to be equals to A, then this angle has to be equals to 180 degree. If C plus A has to be equals to B, then this angle has to be equals to 180 degree. If this A